Okay, so all of you are done submitting a PDF? All of you? Each and everyone here? Perfect. Now let me start the context of the day. Today is most likely going to be your longest day in preparation, both in terms of quantity and quality. Okay, because tonight, being Maha Shivratri, irrespective of your religion or faith, now I'm not here to explain why it is celebrated or whether it has to be celebrated. Today we are going to study till 12 o'clock. Is it clear? In your mind, it's simple. Today it's going to be till 12 o'clock. Now, what are we going to do differently today? We're going to fix everything in a single day. The reason being, this is almost like the cutoff. ICA has different cutoffs for exam dates. Generally, for May attempts, like this particular day, it normally falls in the second week. Is like the cutoff for someone to get into the complete preparation mode. If you are not able to do it today, if you kind of do it 1 week from now or 10 days from now, it might affect your attempt significantly. So this is a cutoff day for you to study uh, productively and efficiently. The reason being you only have 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks. Again, we are moving into a 21-day challenge towards the end of this month. And then April is purely meant for revision. Okay. So there are gaps in your preparation. Some subjects are done. Some of you are not yet come into the complete momentum. A lot of things are there. But today, let's make it a base. Let's see what can be done. Let's see what is possible. And we kind of fix it. Because if you understand, if something is taking forever, still it's not fixed, which means it's not about time. Because time heals, but time doesn't heal everything. Especially that bullshit in the mind, time is never going to heal. It will only keep up. So we're talking about, cutting off certain things through surgical process, which most likely can happen in a day. Now, before we jump into what we are doing, I'll tell you the context of why this is celebrated. It's very something which is relevant to us. Now, there are many stories regarding this. There are multiple legends and stories, like especially for festivals, there are at least 5 to 6 reasons people might have in general. But right now, what's relevant to us? Now, once upon a time, there was a war between this good and bad. Now, good guys are considered gods, and bad guys are considered demons, Rakshasas and Devas, right? The point was they're trying to churn a mountain using a snake back and forth, and then they're trying to extract something called that's the Amrita nectar, which gives them immortality. So they're since they want to win over each other, they want immortality. Now, instead of the Amrut, poison came out. Now, once the poison came out, someone has to consume, otherwise everyone will die. One of them has to consume that, otherwise what will happen? That spreads all across the air and they'll die. Right now in our mind, when you say poison, it's a liquid. At that point of time, probably it's some in gaseous state. So someone has to consume it because there are no extinguishers or something. Gods, being the good guys at that point of time, did not have immortality. So if you consume them, they're gonna die. Now the point, like nobody takes that call, nobody takes that shot, even though how good someone is. Now that is when Lord Shiva came in and he drank that poison himself. If you look at, like, again, from any particular faith, if you're looking Shiva, the image, now you have his neck in blue color and then there's a snake tied around him. So while he was consuming it, his neck was becoming, I would say, dark because poison, obviously. And before it got into his body, a snake was tied so that it doesn't go down. So the poison is stuck here. Something like this. Now, why am I talking about this story? In order to solve the problem which you're facing, like whatever problem you're facing, it's mostly linked to your thought process. Most of you thinking in a particular way. That is the only problem you have. You're thinking in a particular, nothing else. You're thinking in a particular way. So what we are trying to do now, we are trying to churn out all the unnecessary things from your mind or from your life. What happens is some poison comes out, which is resistance, which is, it'll be dragged out of a mental comfort zone. A lot of things happen. Now, right now, when you're sitting here, the alternate is sleeping on your bed. You're sitting here. Now, that creates some resistance. Knowingly or unknowingly, this resistance keeps accumulating and it complicates your decision making process, because you'll be like at some point of time it feels like torture or pressure or punishment or whatever, because these are supposed to be as steps to growth. Each step which you're taking, waking up, studying, revising, writing, everything are supposed to be steps to your ultimate growth. But then, because of something else is happening at each and every level, let's say when you have to think uh, very, very aggressively, especially the day and revision part, when you have to summarize the day's learning in just 15-20 minutes, there's a lot of cognitive load. Now, after that, your experience will be very loaded, or probably, you're exhausted. Then you need some device or some mechanism to cool down. Now, at multiple points, if you see that this resistance is adding up, that the whole thing, I'm calling it poison. In just in this context, is poison. Now, someone has to consume it. Now, in your case, there is no Shiva, that should be you on. And then you have to tie a snake, right? Understand this. Now, combine all the problems together, consume it, and then protect yourself. It's risky, but this is the only way it has to be done. Because if it's in the air, it's going to affect your everyday. Now, what I'm trying to tell you, let's start with this. The first one, the first problem which most of you have, whether you recognize it or not, is boredom. You're goddamn bored. You're bored. That's the biggest problem. Boredom, nothing else. You're bored. Why are you bored? Because in a normal life, if you are not sorted yourself, you need constant sensory stimulation. Constant sensory stimulation. What is sensory stimulation? Now, when you go into office, let's say when you go into work, especially people like Anshu who has work experience, now you understand on a given day you go to work, a target is given, you're working towards it, you have a team, you have deadlines, you have a manager who is going to remind you, and then and a given work day, you kind of travel to work most of the time, and a lot of things happen, and then there is no aggressive deadline or aggressive compulsion for you to complete certain things in a very refined manner. And let me tell you very frankly, your performance in the work is most likely the same as that of your preparation. It is just that nobody is giving you marks. Please understand that. Just because there is no one giving you marks, don't automatically think that you are doing it extremely well. Although your employer might give you Employee of the Year certificate and all, workplace inefficiency is the highest form of inefficiency in general. It looks, see, you're busy, you're occupied, you're productive. I'm not denying it. But in terms of efficiency, the problem is you don't know what exactly is the benchmark. Nobody gives you precise marking in terms of how you are performing. In exam, somebody is giving you an objective understanding of how you are performing. So that way, and of course, the load is not there, and it is something which you have to do for the next 30 years. You make sure you understand that it's a part of your life, and most importantly, somebody pays you money. Somebody pays you money. It's like, when you go to any of the uh, zoo, let's say, when you feed food to animals, they want it, right? Like, you can't talk to an animal. You cannot talk to an animal. You can only feed. Only when you feed, it kind of consumes that. Similarly, unfortunately for us in the last 1 century, food for animal is money for humans. Like, this is the only language which we kind of understand most of the time. So the moment we get it, we forget everything. Okay. So now for your brain, if you have to work on a very complex or difficult assignment without getting paid, it's very hard. I'm saying it. I'm not saying people have become money minded, but then the world has become money minded. So it's very hard for people to work on assignment without getting paid. Here, you don't have to blame yourself for this, but it is what it is. So there are two things. One, at a fundamental level, there is boredom. Two, there is no incentive for you on a daily basis or monthly basis. You know that if you study hard, you'll clear. See, if that is the case, everybody knows that if you stay focused in life for 2-3 years, you'll become successful. But the question is, can you stay focused for 2-3 years? That is not happening. But here also the question is, can you stay focused for 2 months? 2 years is a long time. And here it's immediate success. It's not vague success, well-defined success. This is what it is. Now, there are a lot of people on the screen right now. Again, all of you do have a possibility. Yes, you do have a possibility. But are you going to clear for sure? Depends on what you're going to do it from today till the end of your last exam, whether it's in May or June. Right? There is a decent possibility of getting postponed. But I would say for people who are studying properly, postponement is a bane. It's not a boon because it alters your momentum. It creates unnecessary confusion. You might think that, okay, when I have extra month, let me study one more book. I have known many people who are able to do well without postponement. With postponement, their schedule gets screwed up. Now, here, we don't care about it. My understanding is, I'll make it simple. My understanding is I'll have to make you ready by April 30. My mentorship ends on April 30. Understood? That is how we look at it. I don't want to drag this according to your, renewed deadlines or something. So March 31st, we're completing syllabus. Whether it's group one or group two or both groups, depends on how much you complete. Whatever you complete on April 1st, as on March 31st, that is what you're going to revise in April. Whatever you kind of revise in April is what we're going to write in May. 3 steps, right? So today, if you understand this, okay, one is boredom, one is no incentive. These are the two things why you kind of find it hard to keep going forward. Now let's look at it this way. Since this preparation is anyways boring, I'm saying it's boring. When something is boring, let us finish it fast. Let's not stretch it. You understand? This is boring. Accept it. Cool. If this is boring, should we study for 2 months or should we study for 8 months? Now, this is a very simple thing to understand. But now people keep asking me, how did you clear at 21% attempt on all? For the simple fact, because I don't want to write in multiple attempts. I don't want to drag this till 23, or 24, 25, 26, whatever timeline is. I want to finish it fast in one attempt because it's not worth putting in hundreds of attempts or whatever, multiple iterations. So if something is boring, finish it fast because you have to do it right. Getting it, this is about your boredom. In terms of incentive, it's not like you're not getting paid. Now, look at yourself like an entrepreneur. Now, what does an entrepreneur have? Now, entrepreneur, somebody capital. Now, if I have to talk about my own journey, like at some point of time, I had got to move to London and settle down there. It was a very decent opportunity from one of the best firms in the world. But then, okay, this is not what I wanted probably. Let me build something. From that point, from having 2, 3 qualifications at the age of 21 and then having very deep and diverse work experience, you're collapsing your career. Like you're stopping everything. You come back, you start from zero. It's literally zero. And it's actually negative because you end up spending a lot without making anything. Now, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, because you do it for a decade. And then the next day, after decade, after 1 year, a day comes. That's called overnight success. A decade of days, and then one night you sleep, you wake up, it's success. Now, it has a decade of days. Now, similarly, you're not looking at a decade of days. Very simple. March, April, May. 100 days roughly. Slightly if it gets extended, June, July. So most likely, all of you would be earning a lakh per month from August. It's a very high possibility, whether it's online or offline. All of you are the final stage. You're positioning yourself to start making 1 lakh per month, right? So look at it as if it's a professional assignment, but you're getting paid at the end, just like an entrepreneur. Initially, you're not getting paid. All of this cumulative will get paid, right? A fundamental question: Would you know, would you do the same if somebody is paying 1 lakh for you per month to do what you're doing? Would you do the same if somebody is paying you 1 lakh per month to do what you're doing? Now, this is an interesting question because this is exactly how we arrive at offline. Basically, you understand that there is a decent reward structure which will clearly, reflect your work. You'll be inclined to work more. Now, that is the reason why companies like Goldman Sachs. Now, Goldman Sachs offers a bonus of 100%. The bonus is 100%. Your salary is X. The bonus is 100%. Now, all the companies where people work very productively, the reward system is extremely good. So you look at it like this. I kind of put it now. Now my next year package of 10 to 12 lakhs is waiting for me. It's waiting there. I just have to get there. It's waiting. It's open. That 1 lakh per month is open in August. Now what do you have to do? You don't have to study till August. You just study for 2 months. 2 months, guys. It boils down to 2 months. 2 bloody months. That's it. 2 months. Everything which has happened until now no longer matters much. If it's good, it's great. If it's bad, that's okay. It doesn't matter much from now. Please understand. Only 2 months. So today you decide, like, regarding boredom, understand it. Because since it's boring, let me now stretch it till November. One. Regarding incentive structure, you understand that there's a package waiting for me, even if it's articles. Let's say you're at intermediate level. Now what? Why should you sit and study at the room? Like, how much will you study? How much more will you study? Go out, hang out. There are insane places. Like in most of the big four, there'll be travel, there'll be work travel. You'll be meeting extremely cool set of people, like from all over the country. In any big four, you'll definitely meet people from at least 10 plus states, right? When there's a happening life waiting for you, why are you not exploring it? Because your age is running. Now you look at it between 23 to 25. Should you sit and study in a room, or should you go out in the world and explore? This is a question which you have to ask. It doesn't matter where you are stuck, and don't get in the bullshit karma siddhanta. Why am I stuck here? Because you're stuck. You're not. It's not a question of why am I stuck. You decided to get stuck. That's where you're stuck. Move your ass out and take the next step forward. And you kind of have to take an aggressive decision to break the inertia. You have to take like it's like at the rocket launching, you have to overcome G. G is equal to 9.8 meters per second. Unless you kind of move past that speed, you cannot lift the vertical lift. From there, it's less. Almost 50-60% of the fuel consumption happens for the vertical lift at the beginning. So that is exactly what I'm talking about. You need to have that lift very fast. Very fast. It's not a question of time. It's a question of intense energy, which has to get started right. Now today is the day. Today is the launch day. It flies like this, or with if you're going like this, it's traffic. It's stuck. Can't race. Now if you're going like this, there's no enough time. And people ask me randomly, if you're a random guy from unknown place, if you ask me 2 months are enough, no. Now if you're one of the people in the ecosystem, our 2 months are different because we travel like this, not this. So bringing all of this into perspective, let's look at today. Let's start today. Okay. Let's start today. Now in your mind, decide this. Let me study till 12 p.m. without affecting tomorrow's boundaries. Now, if you are studying at 12 o'clock and tomorrow you're waking up at 10 o'clock, what's the point? Okay, in your mind, have that you're having a monk session tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Today, we'll see because we have done marathons, we have done many things, right? We have done night outs and a lot of things, and a lot of things. Now, today, let's see the extent of stretch to which we can go. Can I do that? Shall we do that today? Longest day, looking at 15, 16 hours of study. Should we do that? All of you? Confirmation in the chat box, yes. For those who are still having, for those who are still having those internal battles. Okay, when you're having some internal battles. Now, what are internal battles? Let's quickly talk about it. Okay, the first battle is with your thoughts. Now, what are thoughts? You're sitting here, since we're talking about timelines, you suddenly get a thought. I might fail in May 24. That is a thought. Okay. I might fail in May 24 is a thought. Now, when I say thought, this is a noun. Like, let's say thought is a thing. It's a thing. It just got it. Now, until now, it's okay. Now, what happens? Let's say if I get a thought like this, like whenever I used to study, or when I get a thought like this, I might fail in May 24. Okay. Like, okay. Like, it's like smoking is injurious to health. Okay. We are getting a lot of, environmental pollution. Okay. There might be a chance of World War III. Okay. You understand which is more risky? Failing in May 24 versus World War III involving India. You think about it. Both are possibilities. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm giving you this random examples is when it's a different example, you're like, okay, what would you do? Like, you don't try to hide in a bunker, right? Okay, it might happen. Or COVID might come back stronger, faster, whatever it is. Okay. When you're getting random thoughts, you're not acting upon it, right? Now, when you get this particular thought, I might fail in May 24, why? You end up starting this thinking loop. What is thinking? It's a verb. Thoughts are not the problem. Thinking is the problem. I might. Okay, pass in May 24. Okay. Then you start thinking, should I join a job or should I get into Big Four? Should I start my own practice? I think I need to make sure I cover up the lost time in the next couple of years. Now, whether your thought is I might pass or I might fail, both are bullshit right now because they're not relevant. It doesn't matter. It's not positive thinking. It's stupid thinking. Thinking is stupid. Now, this is stupid. For your brain, it's in two states. It's either thinking or learning. Right now, a bit of learning happens through thinking. Now you're listening to me. Now I'll tell you, you're listening, okay? You're learning through listening. That is there. A bit of assimilation happens through thinking. Learning through listening, but some level of thinking is involved. The other way around, if you're not listening to me, if you get stuck with a particular thought and you're thinking about it, you can't learn. At any point of time, you can only think or learn. Combining thinking and learning is a very complex skill, which took me a lot of time. Like that's one advantage which I have. I can think and learn. So for others who have not put in conscious effort, it's only think or learning, thinking or learning. One thing happens strongly. Learning happens to thinking also. So right now, the first thing which you have to avoid is thoughts. You cannot avoid thoughts, no matter what is there. You avoid thinking about thoughts. First thing, very first thing. Stop thinking about your thoughts. Stop thinking about your thoughts. Now, this particular insight, which I just spoke in the screen, okay, right now, which I spoke on the screen, is worth 100 times more valuable. This is 100 times more valuable than, than the top 100 motivation videos which are available in the world right now. Probably each of them might have 100 million views, more than watching all the videos. If you understand this, you'll definitely perform better. You understand this, not listen to this. You understand, assimilate. Stop thinking about your thoughts. Stop thinking about your thoughts. It's got nothing to do with positive thought or negative thought. Don't get in that bullshit. Stop thinking about your thoughts. I'm repeating it multiple times. You'll keep getting a lot of thoughts as we keep going towards the exam. As we keep going towards the exam, you'll get infinite number of thoughts. Don't act upon them. Don't act upon that process. It's like a dog barking. Stop responding to a barking dog is what I'm saying. Don't bark. Don't bite. You don't bite and bark a dog, right? So look at your mind like a mad dog. Keeps barking. It tries to drag you. Do not think. Do not think. Do not think right now. Is this clear? Is this part clear? This will solve almost 50-60% of all the problems you're having, right? 50-60% of the problems, including stress, pressure, everything, anxiety, whatever nonsense you might be going through, everything will be solved with this one. Step number two. This is one, okay? This is at a cognitive level. I'm talking about thoughts and thinking. I'm talking about cognition. Talking about cognition. The other one is emotion. One is cognition, the other one is emotion. Uh, I would always talk about not dealing with emotions. People don't understand emotion. That's a very different story reserved for another day. But right now, I'm not sure how many of you are in a cognitive capacity to ignore emotions. Even to ignore emotions, you should have the cognitive capacity. I'm not sure how many of you have that right now. So let's understand how you can fix your emotions just like the way we discussed about cognition. Let me that way. Now, for cognition, just like the way we use thoughts, for emotion, I can use emotions directly, but then I'm using a different term which is simple again. Now, for thought, I'm using thinking. For this emotion, I'm using feeling. Okay? So stop thinking about your thoughts and stop feeling about your emotions. Stop feeling about your emotions. Okay. Now, say, what could be an emotion? Fear of failure. Now, in the earlier example, that past fail example, what is the underlying emotion to that statement? It's fear of failure, or let's call it excitement about success. Previous example, pass fail. It's either fear of failure or excitement about success. One of the things. Now, both of this alter your mood. And that, but okay, I'm going to clear. If the mood slightly gets elevated, it goes here. You cannot study. I'm going to fail. The mood gets deflated. You cannot study. Now, this is where you have to stay. So you have to stay there. Whether it's a positive emotion or negative emotion, we don't want an emotion. Positive, negative doesn't matter. In one of the fundamental rules which you talk about is, it's not about a good girl or a bad girl, or a good boy or a bad boy. You're not going to have a relation. Because the moment you have someone from the opposite gender, it goes here or here. Now both are useless. Even if it goes here, you still can't study there. So the idea is not the affinity. Positivity or negativity or something is not we're worried about. We want neutrality. Neutrality is the thing. Neutrality is the real thing. Positivity, negativity, neutrality. Neutrality is not positivity. Please understand that. Neutrality is the hardest thing. Because normally what happens is people are in a negative, people experience and suffer negativity. Superficial solutions offer positivity, but both are the same. Let's say you're bored, and then you watch Instagram reels. That's the solution to boredom. What happens after one hour? You're lost in an unknown zone, a zone which does not exist. You don't know what feeling it is. It's slightly confusing and fear of missing out triggers, and then you realize nothing of that sort is happening in your life. You're more, you know, what is a better word for this? You're more screwed up than you originally were. Now, that's the reason why, the idea is not getting high or low or whatever. You just have to maintain a zone of neutrality, right? So that is a game. Neutrality here. Learning, one is learning. Less thinking and more learning. Learning more. Less thinking and more learning. That's one. The other one, we're talking about neutrality, not positivity. General sense of optimism is fine. I'm sorry, please don't get confused with negativity, neutrality, and all of that. General sense of optimism. Okay, things are going good. Things are going good. Don't get into that, no, self-sabotage. No, that's not what I'm talking about. General sense of optimism is fine, but in general, don't focus on positivity or negativity as such as a whole. Uh, is this clear? The second part here, you're not acting upon your moods. Let's say I don't feel like studying. Don't let that mood affect your feeling or whatever it is. Let's say you feel dull. Don't affect that mood. You know, impact what you're supposed to do. Now, again, I'm slightly using the words loosely here. Emotion, mood, feeling, because mood is a consequence of your emotion and feeling. But for you, I just want to equate it in the same way. Thoughts and thinking, emotions and feeling. Okay? Stop feeling your emotions. In a simpler sense, stop feeling your emotions. Let the emotions be there. Let them be there. Stop feeling about them. Let the thoughts be there. Stop thinking about them. Stop thinking about your thoughts and stop feeling your emotions. Okay, that's the summary which I wanted to convey. Moral of the story: stop thinking about your thoughts. Stop feeling. Are the two things clear for you? Are the two things clear? Stop thinking about your thoughts and stop feeling your emotions. These are two things which are clear. Now, these two things should be enough for you to move forward. Two things. If they're still not enough. Now, probably for today it's fine, tomorrow it's fine, and whatever. If still they're not enough, I'll give you a third Brahmastra. I know when I first talk about it, it might impact some of you in a particular way. I don't know what I'm going to speak because this is both streaming live and also it is getting recorded. But then I'll have to say what I have to say. The third option is just shut up and surrender to me till your exams. Now, me as in not me, founder of Himla School or my personal capacity, no. Now, I'm talking about this because I've done certain things in life which nobody has the brains or the other thing of it to do it, both intelligence and courage to do certain things. Because I did have some very deep experiences which are normally disturbing, like they're very, very disturbing. They're very disturbing. You know, some of them are closer to death. So kind of kissed death and came back in multiple scenarios, whether it's a physical accident or it's because of something, an event which happened to someone in your life and all of that. So I kind of operate at the margin, like edge of it. Even at that point of time, I was sane, sensible, and I kind of my range of things is extreme. Like if you're operating at 1%, I operated and came back at 100%. No, there's no logical structure about it. I can't give you a GPS map about how do you kiss depression and come back, or how do you take a deep dive into depression and come back. I can't give you a GPS map as of now. Uh, but then, yeah, if somebody wants to dive along with me or whatever, just somebody wants to latch on. Now it's not a lifetime access thing. I know when people talk to me, I know the level of resistance they have. No, it's not about what you say to me. I understand when I sit with someone, I understand that all of this is happening because of that special ability to understand what people think through and go through. So if you have the ability to surrender, the one and two are easy. Stopping thinking about thoughts is at one level. You know, stopping feeling your emotions is one level, and surrendering to someone is at a different level. It's hard. Surrendering is hard because not just your resistance, ego comes into the play, and then the reason why you have to move to step three is because you're not able to stop thinking or stop feeling. So when you're thinking and feeling, you can't surrender. What is surrender? You have to stop thinking and stop feeling, right? That is only when you can surrender. But there are many students in the past, who were able to do that. So for them, I'll be able to guide certain things which I normally won't do in a general perspective. Now, when somebody says I don't have time, let's say I don't have time, and I can literally help someone cross 20 uh, plus in a single day. One day, if you give me 15, 16 hours, we can cross 20 plus. That doesn't mean if you give me 10 days, you'll score 200. I'm not talking about it. When you kind of go into an extreme format where there's nothing else, and then what you're experiencing is not that the only possibility. There are multiple possibilities. Again, there are plus and minus to it. There are downside to it because one exhausted if you're not building it properly, it might affect the next or next day. A lot of things. Oh, you have to focus on what's sustainable. But still, in terms of possibilities, whatever you're experiencing it, we can actually do it 3x or 4x more. So that possibility is at a different level altogether, right? So one to not happening, three, let me know what you're going through and help me understand why. Because put honest effort, put honest intent, and it's still not happening. I'm here to bridge the gap. I've done it for multiple people. I can do it for you. But from your perspective, we should be able to, clearly understand this is the only thing in your life. See, if clearing exams is the only thing in your life, if I'm the only person in your life until you clear exams, I can give you 100% guarantee. When I say I'm the only person, I don't want even you. I don't want your existing thought architecture to disturb us. Now I'll tell you what is existing thought architecture. The last statement surrender to me. Some of you understand it as intelligence. Okay, this is like, it sounds good. Some of you like the confidence. Some of you will find it arrogance. Now, is this intelligence or confidence or arrogance? It does not depend on me. It depends on you. If you're arrogant, you'll find it arrogant. If you're intelligent, you'll find it intelligent. If you're confident, you'll find it confident. That's it. It's not. It's not about what I say. Now, this is the same philosophy which applies for all your exam or coaching, right? It's the same guy, who teaches a couple of students get 90s, a lot of students get 19. So should you go and blame the faculty? At least that is something which you can understand. Now, I'll be understood depending on your current level of maturity. Getting it? So you don't have to worry about how to process everything. You focus on where you are, where you have to go. One is at the input level. At the input level, are you able to study for 10 to 12 hours a day? If that is still a challenge even after doing it. The fastest way to fix it is offline because here, the schedule gets sorted in 2, 3 days. Fastest way. A slower way is slightly improving 1 hour every day. Like let's say you're stuck in some other place. Now you're not able to really do it. So 6 hours to 7 hours, 7 hours to 8 hours. Probably it will take a couple of weeks. So you kind of look at it. You log the resources, you freeze the resources, and within that resources, what is it possible is what I want to think. Because when I say a deadline, no is also important sometimes. Because let's say you keep thinking about, okay, at some point of time I'll move to offline Hyderabad, and then you won't focus on the resources which you have. So you'll have to take a conscious decision. The question is not about online, offline, or hybrid. The question is about, are you able to fully use your existing resources? Fully use your existing resources. That is the question. So as we proceed forward towards the day, make sure you have nothing in your mind. Study. Uh, if you have to eat, that is because you have to study. If you have to take rest, that is because you have to study. Understand this. Zero mobile usage. Zero mobile usage today. If you're not able to not do it, or if you're not able to control it, you know, the my classic response. You have to be. You need to deserve to be someone. Like you need to deserve to be a chartered accountant. If you say that one day I can't stay without mobile, fantastic, fantastic. So first 3 hours, starting from 6 o'clock, it's already 6:05 something, until 9:04, 9:05 for the next 3 hours. Finish a chapter which has a weightage of 10 marks. Like in continuation of what you're already doing, at least cover 10 marks. We're trying to cover 30 plus marks today. 30 plus marks is the target. I'm talking about a denominator weightage. Denominator weightage of 10 marks, cover it entirely. Cover it entirely. Don't do it in slow motion. Cover it, pick it up, decide this is what it is. Do current day skimming for the next 5 minutes, and cover it entirely. This is what you're going to do now. The next 5-10 minutes is what you're going to do. Once that is done, next 10 to 1. 10 to 1, pick up another 10 more chapter which is worth 10 more marks. Finish it. 2 to 5. So this way you're trying to cover 30 marks. Do not worry much about how much you're learning or how much you're remembering, because even if you cover 10 hours, 10 marks weightage in the next 10 hours, it's the same experience. Now these three things together, 30 marks is what we have covered before 5 o'clock. 5 to 6 take a fitness break. 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. The focus is on how do we assimilate this information. We are not studying anything new. We're studying something fast. This 30 mark content will process the content using revision, using writing practice, using testing. Understood? So 9 hours of preparation, 6 hours of processing is what we're looking at today. Clear? So it's going to be a long day. You'll get voice instructions. You'll understand. So until 5 o'clock, you need not know anything. 3 chapters or one. I don't know a chapter which will give you 30 marks in any subject. That doesn't exist. So yeah, you definitely have to do two to three chapters, 2 to 4 chapters with the coverage of 30 marks. And don't act like a dumb donkey with subject you study, which chapter. You should know that. If you're not knowing, it's a danger sign. Whatever subject you are studying, as I told you, group of the month, subject of the week, chapter of the day. It's a logical continuation of what you're already doing. Do not try to create extra confusing by rethinking about everything. Nothing. The subject which you're studying, identify those 3 chapters which will give you a weightage of 40 plus marks. If you still don't know those 3 chapters which give you 40 plus marks, probably you're too late for me. Probably you're in a deep slumber. It should be there in the mind. It should be there in the mind for all the chapters. Clear? Can I get a confirmation? Is it clear? Please type clear if it's clear. So once you're done with the, you know, done with your break from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, definitely put some time into fitness today, 5 to 6 o'clock, because you're trying to build everything. Our food, a lot of people do fasting from a particular religion or faith. Look at it like more than the sentimental value. Look at it in a biological perspective, or minimize food if at all, or focus on food, fruits or whatever. So see, you can go without food and still study effectively, but don't let that thought, okay, I'm not having food, probably I might feel weak, whatever it is. So don't do that. Like don't complicate this. However it is, however it's convenient, whatever is functional, God will understand. Whatever is functional, do that. Okay, this is exactly what I wanted to do. And before we leave, let's just do it. Let us do a quick round of box breathing followed by visualization, so that you can start. You can have a power start. As you're sitting right now, sit with your eyes closed. Please sit with your eyes closed. Spine erect. Close your eyes. Spine erect. Exhale once. Exhale once. Start inhalation. Inhale further. Continue inhalation. Now hold your breath. Hold, 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 hold it. Slowly start exhaling. Slow, steady, controlled exhalation. Slow, steady, controlled exhalation. Once you're done with your exhalation, stay in the Shunyaka position. Without air in the lungs, stay there for 10 seconds. Okay, relax. Keep your eyes closed. We'll do one more round. Keep your eyes closed. Start inhalation. Start inhalation. Inhale further. Keep inhaling. Continue inhalation for 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold your breath. Hold, hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. Now slowly start exhaling. Continue exhalation for 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now stay in the Shunyaka position. Purvaka, Kumbhaka, Rechaka, Shunyaka. Shunyaka is a state of vacuum. Stay there for 5 seconds. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, keep your eyes closed. Relax your breathing. You can breathe normally. Keep your eyes closed. So as we discussed, we identified three things today. One is to stop thinking about your thoughts. Two, to stop feeling your emotions. And if it's still required, if you're not able to handle it with the first two things, surrender to the process. Surrender to the process completely till exams. Effectively, clearing CA or clearing CA exams is the only thing, and I'm the only person in your life. When I said only person, one source of thoughts or one source of learning, one source of processing without mixing it multiple times. Okay, this is what we're deciding. So in order to execute this, now this is at the strategic level. In order to execute this, we are giving ourselves one entire day where we are covering 30 plus marks. Today, we are covering 30 plus marks in three slots: 6:15 to 9:15, or somewhere around 9, 10 to 1, and 2 to 5. So we're covering 30 marks of one subject using 2 to 3 chapters. Once it is done, we're meeting at 6 o'clock. We're meeting at 6 o'clock after finish at 5 to 6 break. So we'll focus on how do we process the information which we studied during this 9 hours. Now, if May 24 is important for you, make this day important. Even if you're working, even if you're doing something else, cancel everything. You should be able to cancel everything in your life when something is needed. Otherwise, your life is not in control. If you're not able to cancel your day with 1 hour notice, probably you're in deep trouble. Please understand. So if this is important, get started. You don't get days like this. And today I'm going to solve a lot of problems post 6 o'clock. Okay, this is what is happening. Now at the end of the day, 12 o'clock before you sleep, you'll know that okay, my routine is fixed, my mindset is fixed. The way I complete my syllabus is fixed. Now it's almost like day with him. Now it's going to be the longest day. And since we already did a 21-day challenge, I'm not making you literally sit live here. If that is required, I'll see. But right now, it's okay. You're free to study on your own. But we're meeting at 6 o'clock where I'll be sitting with you and help you process what you have studied, revise, write, test. Okay. We'll revise, we'll write, and we'll test ourselves. This is exactly what is going to happen. And with this backdrop, with this day, we'll see if we are going to replicate this particular day 21 times this day, which is going to be in the 21-day challenge format. And once you do it at this level of intensity of quality and quantity for 21 days, you're sorted. The syllabus is done. April is all about leveraging and building upon what is already done. And by April 30th, you'll be in a position to pass. No matter when the exam is, let's reach there by April 30th. So effectively, we have less than 2 months. And that is exactly what we have decided. Now, two, three options. One, don't stay in the same zone, come out. Like if you're already moving in a particular way, fantastic, that's great. If you feel stuck, two options. Contact our team if you want to come to Hyderabad in the next couple of days or 2 3 days, whatever it is. Don't lose your attempt. Don't. That's what I'm saying. Don't get stuck in a rigid thinking. That's one option. Option number two, if you have to sit in the same place, see how you can do it incrementally. Now here we speak about exponential improvement. At least incremental improvement should happen. If even that is not happening, you can forget about your method. Because if you're not studying, if you're not doing anything about it, what can happen? So fix the core problem and try to get into the zone in the next 2 days, not later than 10th of March. This 3 weeks in March, 4 weeks in April is what we have. 7 weeks. 7 weeks is too short a time to drag decisions forever. So this is about the scenario. Now, what is happening in the 7 weeks? As I said, every day you'll be waking up, every day you'll be spending at least 10 hours of study, and then you'll have 2 hours to revise and write. It's going to be 12-hour day from here. Last time it was 9 hours. Now it's going to be 12-hour days. And you have nothing in life, nothing else to do, nothing else bothering you, no one is bothering you. So if you do this seamlessly for the next 2 months, it's almost impossible to fail, no matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you are, but you still have time to get where you have to get. Okay. So once you do this, what is the outcome? Number one, on the examination day, you'll know that you're going to clear. That's a unique experience. That's respecting yourself. Because when you write an exam, you should know you should clear. Otherwise, you're insulting yourself. Next, on the results day, this is the time which your relation with IC has to change. It's like, let's look at it like a proposal. If you propose to a girl or a boy, you don't like rejections, right? You'll make sure you put all the effort that it becomes yes. Take time. Now it has to be yes from your auditing examiner or accounting examiner or whatever. It has to be yes, yes, yes 6 times or 5 times or 3 times is applicable. At least three yeses has to come. Let's focus on that. And finally, convocation day. Your parents, even today, like most of you are able to do this, whether it's offline or online, it's because of your parents, right? And recently, like all the parents, all the people who have joined us, parents have come in personally all the way. Recently, Anshu's dad came all the way from Kerala. Like he traveled for 24 hours to drop her here. So when you're getting that kind of support, you definitely make sure that you're reciprocating it. It can happen on convocation day. Like these are the three, even inter students can visualize in that proportion. So 3 days are worth doing anything for the next 7 weeks. This is exactly how I want you to process this. Let this sink in. Keep your eyes closed for 2 3 minutes, and whenever you feel sorted, immediately open your eyes and get started with your preparation. Is this clear? Okay, let the feeling sink in. Stay there forever. So, Arpita, I'm giving you a breakout room. You can join that. Okay, start rubbing your palms. Place them on your eyes. And slowly open your eyes, looking at your palms. Like whenever you have to open, you open like this. Okay. Yeah. So before we move on to the day, quickly, I want to listen. What is that one thing you're going to change from today? One thing. Think through because we have discussed multiple things. What changed? We had a very deep and detailed discussion. So today is like the fresh restart button. We just hit the restart button. So what is it? What is the key takeaway? Or what is it? What is it which is going to change? One thing which you're going to do differently from today. I'm starting with Prasanna. Next is Hari. Next is Anshu. Twinkle in the same order of the screen. Quickly unmute yourself and mention what are you changing from today?
Sir, I was clear about the thoughts and emotions, but not this much point to certain level of clarity. Today we are pinpointing the need. So no thinking, no feeling of emotions. So even if I think of a random thought, I should cut off that immediately. That's I have fixed it today, sir. Same with the feelings. So if I get a alternate that is unneeded feeling, I should break it completely and the minute it arises. So that is what I fix it today, sir. Going to fix
Right.
today.
Great. Perfect. You are clear. Good. Hari.
Stop thinking about thoughts.
So how are you gonna do it?
Yes, if I have a thought about something,
Hmm.
I need to distance myself from that position, and I need to do not. I don't want to identify with that thought and just get away from it.
So what is that one thought, which kind of bothers you? What is that thought that bothers you normally? Have you noticed like what kind of thoughts kind of disturb you?
How that future can be, how going to be.
Now you realize that the more you think about it, the more you're screwing it up.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so cool. Now you can focus. See, you can focus on 3 to 4 macro thoughts which keep repeating. They keep bothering you multiple times. At least we avoid that. Most of it's sorted. Okay, good. Alright. So especially focus on the present. Present is the future. What you do in the present will automatically affect the future. So don't think about future. Build your future. Cool. Yeah. Anshu.
For me, I have to tackle the boredom, or I don't know what it is. After studying some, I will get exhausted fast.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, I have to work on it. Work on that. Today onwards, I have to work on it.
Yeah. I'll tell you how to do it, but yeah, you noticed it because that was the initial thing which I observed the first 2 days. Kind of, you're looking at it like a load, like it should not happen. It has to be far more seamless. Otherwise, what happens is after a while you can't stretch it. Like your limitation, your capacity gets limited. So you have another 2, 3 hours of capacity in a day. Today you'll experience it. Good. Cool. Twinkle.
So stop paying attention to thoughts
Mhm.
and stop feeling about emotions. Like I had some thoughts that I will not clear. I will this
Mhm.
with
Got
and
it.
some like sometimes it was positive, but both ways they are not needed. What is needed is consistent action and intensity.
Perfect.
That's how I will inculcate in today's
Great.
from
Good.
today.
Prasad.
Sorry, stop thinking and feeling, sir, and
Okay.
maintain neutral.
Mm-hmm. ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పు వాట్ వాస్ బోదరింగ్ యూ అండ్ ఈ రోజు చేంజ్ చేస్తా
అంటే చదివేటప్పుడు ప్రీవియస్గా ఆలోచించేవాడిని సార్. ఇప్పుడు అటువంటి ఆలోచనలు ఏం లేకుండా కంప్లీట్గా తర్వాత అన్నెసెసరీ ఎమోషన్స్తో చదివేటప్పుడే వచ్చేవి సార్. అవేమీ లేకుండా న్యూట్రల్గా కంప్లీట్గా స్టడీ మీద ఫోకస్ పెట్టి
ఈ రోజు నుంచి చేంజ్ అవుతుంది అనిపించింది అర్థమైంది వాట్ హ్యాస్ టు బి స్లైట్లీ చేంజ్
అర్థం
తన వర్క్ చేయాలి ట్రై చేయి, ఇంకా ప్రాబ్లం ఉంటే నేను అది విల్ బి దేర్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఒకసారి మాట్లాడతాను, సరేనా?
సరే.
Cool. వంశీ,
Acknowledge the thoughts and just try to let it.
Vamsi, you have to be louder. You have to be louder.
I just want to focus on the thoughts and try not to get involved in thoughts by acknowledging them and letting it go.
So what are these top 2-3 thoughts which normally bother you?
Top 2-3 thoughts usually are like, what are the things which I wish to do in future or something.
So once again, it is about future, just like Hari, you're also talking about what has to happen at a later point of time, right?
Because thoughts are usually like bonds between past and future.
Yeah.
So we
Cool.
come to the present.
So you'll be thinking less about future and focusing more on present, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Anurag,
The same like Hari and Vamsi said, no? Same thought may come to my mind. Like present it means past and future. Sometimes the mind wavers. That I have to completely avoid.
right.
Like staying in the present moment, the only which I have to.
Got it. Alvin,
Sir, it would be like clarity on what to focus and what not to focus, like giving importance to what I should do and what not to think about and waste my time.
like what not to think about? What are those
What not
thoughts?
to think about, as like previously told, like about generally it's about the future and sometimes like boredom and like getting exhausted, but that's what, like not thinking about the future, like being in the present and taking it one day at a time, like.
Okay, see, one thing which you have to clearly understand, we have to think about the future, but not while learning. You understand? Let's say you're traveling, you think you're cooking, you're eating, that's fine. Not while learning. As I said, mind can only do learning or thinking. It's not like you don't have to think about future. That's important. But when you learn, your futuristic thinking is affecting your present performance. Think of it like a sport. If Sachin is playing cricket, should you focus on that match or should you focus on the next World Cup? Is what you have to understand. When you're studying, should you focus on this particular ball or this particular chapter, or should you focus on some random thing? Is what you have to clearly understand. Thinking is not the problem. When you're thinking is the problem. I think because this is a pattern which I've noticed in most of the final students. But yeah, so how to take care of that? Money and Kushal.
Sir, like normally I used to think, what if it happened if I've not come to CA? What if I've taken and joined any engineering college, or what if I had cleared properly, or something like that, sir? Or what if
They'll
again?
be sleeping now happily instead of going through all of this. They'll be happily sleeping.
Yes, sir. So now I feel like I should trust the process rather than thinking what I need to get. So if I can trust on myself, if I can trust on the process, I'll get the good results. So in a way, I'm removing all the useless thoughts, sir.
Okay, fair. Good. Money, you there?
So thoughts are not bothering at present.
Okay. Now, what is the one thing which is changing? Not everything bothers everyone. What is that one thing you have to change? Think through. Yeah, that's okay. Now, because moving ahead, you need to understand what is that one thing which you have to improve. That is when you see improvement. Like if everything is sorted, you can't improve. There is something which you can improve. So that is one aspect which you have to work upon. And these set of people. Okay, Mitra, Dikshita, and Manju. You guys, who else is left? So that's the reason why I don't trust people without a camera.
So we don't have enough data, so we have ways.
Okay, go ahead.
For me, it is I extend my learning time. I don't stop it at 6. For me, the spending gaps I keep it to 6 to 8. So I don't have the practice time. So I wanna stop my learning until 5, and 6 to 8 I wanna practice more so that I know that I have studied and revised.
Hmm. Hmm. That's one change which you want to make it in your routine.
Yes.
If that has to happen, you have to stop playing badminton by 5:50. And what's the name of your friend?
Adya.
You have to tell her that you moved to Vayu. Still keeps knocking our door, still every single day. So yeah, okay, that's one thing. Yeah, I think I will start that from today. Yeah, 6 o'clock. Study window should close at 5 o'clock. That's one thing. Yeah. What about the others? If at all they're awake,
The same thing for me, sir.
never say same thing. I already told you. Never say same thing. Same thing is stupid. Like, what is it? Think and answer properly.
Okay.
Manju.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, what is your takeaway, and which is it which you're going to work upon from today?
I think the boredom part, sir, because I think I get a little exhausted when, sitting for 10 hours continuously, I get a little too exhausted. And then I think, recreation is something that's needed, and I just get on my phone or maybe, do something. And yes, that takes away too much of my time, and I don't even feel recreated by the end of it. So I'm looking to change that.
Fair enough. You're not embrace boredom. Okay, I'll give you a book. Like, there's something called embracing boredom. Like, probably we'll also discuss it at some point of time if people are experiencing boredom in preparation. That also can be fixed, because all of this people have figured it out. You don't have to do it yourself. It's already figured out. So you just have to know who figured it out and how to learn it from them. Fine, fair enough. So that's a good way. Dikshita, do you have to say something apart from the same thing?
Um, what I have to say is that it is not exactly boredom, but once when you're done with your like study slots and you take your gaps, like you have your break times, I guess it sometimes extends because of my I don't know, because of the need in my mind that there's a need of the recreation thing. So I'll have to stick to those uh, recreation time
Right.
also to that. Like my study hours are efficient, but even after that, my break time tends to extend because, yeah, so I'll have to be strict with my break timings too.
Fair enough, fair enough. So now that you understood the range of issues which all of you are going through, matlab, you don't let yourself to go through the same problem. So these are the range of things which you might go through, all of you, but I'm talking to all of you. So this is something which has to be sorted. And enough of maintenance. Like, we put in almost 1 month of mental maintenance for 3 months of preparation. Now, at some point of time, I want to completely move away. Completely. Like, today is the last day where we talk about mindset, routine, and all of this. So we'll get back to the accelerated learning process, revision, and all of this. So please understand, we're just getting into the examination mode, like almost like in the examination mode. From that perspective, no, we're not approaching exam like this. We'll go there and we'll approach from the reverse order. Okay, so that is exactly what is going to happen today. So make sure you hit your best today. The 30 plus marks which I spoke about, please try to complete it. Do current day skimming for 5-10 minutes. Complete that session. Current day skimming for 5-10 minutes. Complete. And then we'll meet at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is where 6 p.m. is where we'll meet once again, and I'll tell you the next steps. All I guess. So rest of you can leave. Arpita, I can stay back. And should take Radha and go to Vayu. Okay, I'll be there in some time. So take your books. Till 9 o'clock is we're studying there. Yes, sir. You need to unmute yourself. No, you're muted. This is